What is going on? Welcome once again. I am the Alpha before the Alpha. Glad everybody's tuning in today, man. Boy, do we have an amazing show today, boys. We have an amazing podcast. Glad everybody's tuning in. I just want to make sure everybody's able to hear me pretty well here. We'll turn down the music just a little bit so you guys could be able to hear it. If you are able to hear, just hit the little icon with the little thumbs up, and we should be good to get started. So there's going to be episode number 2 on converting one soul to 100 soul. If you guys are following me on TG, if you're following me on X, I'm pretty sure you guys are over one soul already. And a lot of you guys might have like 10, 15 soul in your book right now. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. We're also going to be talking about a couple coins. We've been kind of talking about them this whole entire week. And, a few conviction plays, a few plays we actually got in today, and a couple runners that we have moving forward. But we're also going to be talking about what's going on, within the whole, the world, and why it's so important to be on top of it. Our main focus on this podcast is going to be like how you could easily do this one soul to 100 soul challenge fairly easy, as long as you're staying on top of events. And this is a perfect example of opportunities that will be presented to you guys every single time. I try to be as active as I possibly can on TG, on X, and also on YouTube side of things, to be able to tell you guys, oh, jump on this early, but sometimes, I got work, I got school, you got all these things going on. So, I wish I could be on TG like the whole day, right? Like, even though it appears like I am, but I wish I could be there very, as active as I can, not only here on X as well. But my main point here, whenever we do a podcast, I want to make sure that you guys are constantly learning, because one of the key points that I want to make sure everybody gets, like we had our previous episode 1, where we were talking about the strategies we kind of used to navigate the system, which was the 2x strategy I was telling you guys about. If you haven't heard that, I highly recommend you watch the first podcast. But when you put that strategy into place, there's going to be the second key, which is going to be fundamental, for you guys to be able to identify things that are going to be doing very well based on events that happen. And I wanted to, I was going to have a different topic, but I kind of wanted to have this topic because it's going to be extremely important as we move forward to different events, right, that are happening. And we're going to be talking about certain events that are going to be happening. And you're going to notice how this is going to be kind of being a focal point whenever you start trading. I know a lot of you guys come from trading, altcoins, like for example, Solana, Ethereum, all these other type of coins. But when it comes to trading meme coins are completely different than, when you actually trade normal coins, right? And that's why it's extremely important that you understand how events shape what you're trying to do, and when you're not trying to, get into a coin at a current time. Um, so right now it's a perfect example, right? So if you guys noticed, I when on TG I called it called dog, and I called this coin because it was like the first time. It was one that was kind of just starting off. It was like starting off a meta, right? And since it was starting a meta, we were able to determine that was going to be a thing. Today we got Hugs, okay, and Hugs was a perfect example because Hugs was one of these coins that is a narrative to the dog coin, but it tied in perfectly with the event that happened today, which is like the whole rumor of war, happening. And this was an easy play to detect. And, I was able to call this for you guys I think it was like around 100. I know it wasn't 90, but it was 100K ish. That we were able to call it right now. It's currently sitting like at, like 500. I think it already topped 600. So that one's sitting right there. So that was something easily you could have identified right off the bat, and you guys could have been like, you know what, I'm jumping on this, and I'm getting on this as quickly as I possibly can. Like even before I call it, I know some of you guys don't have time to spend too much time, like in pump.fun and looking at stuff like that. But it is. I just want to make sure you guys are constantly keeping an eye on that when you're constantly trading. That you're looking at events, things that are happening, so you guys can pinpoint these. Now, how is this going to help you? How is this going to be helping you to get to that 1 to 100 soul? Right. That's the key question. So there are going to be narratives that are going to be first time runners, and this is another perfect example. And I thought today was such a perfect day because these two things happened at the same time in the same day, right? So we had the Mona, right? Mona came out, which was like the first ever narrative for a painting. And it went crazy, right? It launched out of pump.fun straight, poof, 3 million. The thing with these is like, if you guys are constantly printing and you guys are on my TG, you're on my X, you're on my YouTube, you're going to be constantly seeing that there are things that we could get into that are going parabolic, which is called like the FOMO stage. And I would recommend, if you haven't watched my YouTube video called How to Never Lose, to watch that video, because that video will teach you guys when to buy, when to sell, when to not FOMO in, which is the hardest part, right? When to DCA. So that's a very good video. If you haven't seen that video, highly recommend you check it out on YouTube. I'll leave a link down below. And also I'll try to pin it here on the spaces. But that is a perfect example of, if when I called that coin out, right? That coin was sitting at 3 million. I said, I told everybody in the TG, wait for it to retrace and then get in, right? So the retracement was like at 1.5 mil. So you were able to swoop in there, get a nice like 80%, 70%, depending on when you exited. Usually on those type of coins that have so much volatility, you don't want to. You kind of want to 2x sometimes, right? Because I usually, like on those type of coins, I put in a little bit more soul than I usually would, like on a gamble play. But it's better to win a little and not lose, right? So our main point is to make sure we lose and we get this 100 soul challenge completed. So it would be kind of cool if you guys could message me on TG or message me on X. How your
I
soul
think
challenge.
TikTok messed up our brains, bro. Like everybody got TikTok brains, like the attention span I'm talking about. I think everybody's on
Yeah,
really
yeah,
on TikTok brain. It's
yeah.
crazy,
Just give me
man.
a second, brother. Yeah, right.
Oh, my
Right.
bad, bro.
So yeah, you're good. I lost my train of thought there. Okay, anyways. So the thing is, you want to make sure that you are constantly looking for these plays as they progress and entering them in a really good time. All right. So those are the two examples I wanted to give you guys of what happened. And then we're gonna kind of talk about how this actually has unfolded for the other coins we've been into, right? So we got into our dog. As you guys know, I'm very adamant about our dog. I think, right now it's a bit undervalued in my opinion at the current moment. But with that being said, it is a very good example to show you guys on how you could do this periodically, right? So I'm gonna give you a quick example. So when our dog launched, right, it went from I'm gonna say zero because it started in pump fun, right, and it ran all the way up. Okay, it ran all the way up, and if you guys were watching these, like my videos that I tell you guys, pull your initials, right? Pull your initials or get, a nice little profit whenever you're pretty high up. You're going to get your profit. So, let's say you would have came in there with one soul, and I'm going to give you guys a quick rough example of like, kind of like entry point. I think we got into our dog like around 500K, 400K. I have to double check the buy point that was there. I think it might have been a little bit lower. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'll double check. It ran up, right? Say that one soul would have been like, roughly like about 7-8 soul, right? Let's say you would have been like, what, I'm going to clip half of that, which is going to be 4 soul, and then I'm going to save those 4 soul, and I'm going to leave whatever is remaining right there, because that is a conviction play. And knowing what a conviction play is going to be extremely, extremely important as you guys progress through your 100 soul challenge. That's why, that's what I'm telling you guys. If you guys could send me some screenshots on like either on TG or either on X on how you guys are progressing when it comes to your one soul challenge, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna prove a couple people to speak. Just don't speak yet because you guys are gonna make me lose my thread of thought. I'll let you guys know when you guys can speak. And as you guys are gonna go forward, you're gonna be able to be like, okay, this is a play. I could turn the one soul into 2 soul, and I'm out. And then you're gonna be able to say, okay, this is the play where I'm able to turn the 1 soul right into 8 soul, get 4 soul out. This is a quick example, and leave 4 soul in because it's going to keep moving forward, right? So being able to identify that is going to be crucial, and that's why I kind of wanted to tie it in with today's podcast on how events shape this. I'm gonna give you guys a quick event happening, right? As you guys know, Halloween is coming. Okay, that is an event, right? Christmas is coming. That is an event. Thanksgiving is coming. That is an event. The elections are coming. That is an event. So right off the bat, you have 4 different things, right? You have 4 different things that you could literally be anticipating. And of course, I'm going to be anticipating this for you guys. I'm going to be telling you guys, these are the coins you should get into. These are the ones that look promising because, we're able to see that. But I want you to have this in your mind because for some reason, if I'm not on or I'm not available and I can't make the call, you guys already have this in your mind. Of course, you're going to want to do your due diligence. I have a bunch of videos that are going to help you guys determine what coin is good, what coin is bad. So you guys can know that. But once you guys have that in your mind, right? You guys, okay, we got 4 events. These 4 events, I'm going to be constantly looking for this. And for a quick example, let's take Halloween, right? I know we're pretty far off. It's first, we got the 1st of November, but I mean, sorry, 1st of October, but we're going to be looking for something like around the 29th, right? Like 29th, 30th, 31st. That's when we're going to be looking for something, right? We're going to be looking for a play that we could front run. We're also going to be looking for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that stuff. So it's going to be really important that you pay attention to this. But when you have these type of events, like for example, the one we had today, which is like everybody was talking about the war, a lot of discussion about that. This is when I need you guys to get your brain focused, because these events, even though they're bad, right, they're good for you as an investor. And this is where like a lot of other investors that invest in stocks and invest in other stuff make their money, because usually what tends to happen when these events happen is what happens. Everybody goes to their everybody goes to their screen and starts selling, right? You start panic selling, right? You start panic selling because you're like, oh my goodness, man, I'm not going to have money for food. I'm not going to have money for that. So you start
Oh
selling,
shit.
so you start selling. And this is actually good for you if you guys are following my process, because this is when you guys go look at coins. Like I could name a couple coins, like for example, Nub, Selfie, Genin, like Wolf, Tremp dipped a little bit. All these coins dipped. And what happens with that dip? It gives you an entry, right? It gives you an entry that you probably wouldn't have if definitely be making the plays. That's why I'm constantly, like, if you watch my YouTube channels, I give you guys coins that you constantly have to be watching for dips, because this is where you're going to be making the most amount of money. Because usually the way you want to do is you want to rotate properly. And that's what's going to be episode 3 next week. We're going to be talking about rotation and how you want to rotate your money, so you're constantly winning every single time and multiplying that one soul to 15 and then 15 to 30. And, because you're not going to put 15 soul on a coin that came out of pump.fun, right? You're going to put 15 soul on something you can make 15 soul back, right? So it's going to be extremely important that you understand rotations. And we're going to talk about that on next week's podcast. But today I wanted to specifically drill down on, on coins that we're currently have, called. And also I wanted to pinpoint on stuff on you being able to identify these events, because there's literally an event back on. Now, speaking about events, talking a little bit about our dog. So, for example, our dog, the reason I am really bullish on this coin is because currently, right now, there hasn't been a specific common goal that everybody in the crypto space should be focused on. And I've been pretty adamant. If you've seen my tweets, I've been saying, like, if you have a KOL that is not talking about our dog, they're doing something wrong, because this is literally trying to break crypto history. Currently, right now, the person that holds the record for most retweets is Mr. Beast. All right, really popular YouTuber. I'm
Of
pretty sure all
course.
you guys already know who that is. Now,
Of course.
we're all in the crypto space, right? We're all part of the crypto space. Like, we could literally all make history together, right? Each one of us, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we're even though our names are not going to be etched on the plaque, right? It's still going to be something that we're like, oh, I helped do that, right? And that's something I feel like everybody could get around with, around on, and contribute to that cause, because it's something we should all band together. So it's very rare when something like that happens in the crypto space. Think of it like a Doge coin, right? When everybody was like Doge, 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 and Doge took off because thanks to Elon Musk, but that is a special event that doesn't really happen very often. So that's a coin I was like, this coin's going to do pretty well. We're going to get behind this coin and try to hit the goal. And then usually what's going to happen is, you guys can mark my words, like when we 20 days or so, whatever, you're gonna see the FOMO kick in, right? And then once FOMO kicks in, your guys' bags are gonna be like I don't even know how much you guys have in your bags, right? But your guys' bags are gonna be pretty heavy. So that's one coin that we're really, really happy about. The other coin that we're really happy about is Omochi. Now, Omochi was another coin. We called this like at 100K. This ran up to
That
like,
was big. That was
yeah,
big.
yeah. This one ran up to like, I think it was like 27 mil. So that's at least
That
a
was big.
800x, at least a 800x. So whatever soul you put in there,
Ooh.
if you put one soul, like
God
you
damn.
already made it, bro. Like, you already made it, right? If you got it
Wow.
when I called it. So
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, you're seeing the thing I want to make sure you guys keep in mind is, I am completely different than anybody else that does KOLs, because I am literally showing you the proof of this happening, and you're doing the proof with me, right? Because there's something like there's nothing like me saying I did this, or like I post a little picture of me like having multiple X's on a coin, and you're like, well, how do we know that's true, right? Like, how do we know that that really happened? So we're doing this together. So you're like, I'm the proof. I'm the proof. What are you talking about? I'm the proof. I made it too, right? So that's what I want to make sure that. And one thing I'm really adamant about is I want to make sure. I mean, I'm really hopeful everybody becomes a millionaire, right? But not everybody's going to buy into the plays. Not everybody's going to listen, because some people are like, fearful, and they're like, some people are like, oh, I don't know, whatever. But I at
TikTok
least,
brains, bro. TikTok
yeah.
brains.
But at least I want one person to either hit a 5 fig or a 6 fig, and I'm going to be extremely excited, because that is basically what I want. I want to make sure that I am creating millionaires as we progress through this journey, because there's going to be a long journey, boys. We're going to be in this. It's like for a couple of years, because I mean, meme coins are not dying. Crypto's not dying. It's actually going up. So I want to make sure that I am
Yeah,
generating not myself generational wealth. Of course, I'm not going to lie. I want it as well, right? I want it as bad as you guys. That's why I'm in the trenches. I'm working. I'm grinding. But I want
yeah,
it
yeah.
for you too. I want it for you too, because what's going to happen is going to trickle down, right? Because what's going to happen is I become a millionaire. You become a millionaire. What do you think's going to happen? You're going to go tell your friend, bro, let's make another millionaire, and then you're going to tell your other friend, let's become a millionaire. So that's extremely important that
It has to be this strategy. It has to be your strategy, because onboarding just by blind faith, bro. Right now, like onboarding a family and friends, the way the market is, it has to be through your strategy, like the way you're doing it. Because if you're just by impulse, bro, the relatives are never gonna call you back. Like they're gonna
yeah.
quit on the first loss.
Yep. And that's why it's extremely important that I make you guys successful, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to go to Christmas, right? You're going to go to Thanksgiving, and you're going to pull out your phone, right? And you're going to show the picture. You're going to show the picture of Retreat Dog, and they're going to see the balance. It's going to say like 100,000. Like, that's what I want, right? So when Thanksgiving comes around, I want to make sure you guys are printing. Now, talking about printing, boys, I hate to draw the attention, but right now we got Hugs. Hugs almost hit 800K. So hopefully you guys are still in
Ooh,
that play. That was called today at 100K, boys. 100K, that's an
wow.
8x. And then we got Mona right now sitting at 2.24. So that's at least about to hit a 2x for you guys. So that we got some nice plays on those. So right now I'm gonna open up the space just a little bit. I know a couple of you guys wanted to speak. Nuff wanted to say wants to be a speaker. AD wants to be a speaker. So if you have any questions or any relating to the coins we're talking about or relating to events, let me know. Or if you have any testimonials of you being, in the TG, follow me on X. How's it going? Please let me know. So enough. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, bro, I heard October 12th is the release of the Sui Pump Fund, bro. The Sui,
Okay.
the coin you were talking about,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Sui.
October
Sui.
12th is the Pump Fund factory opens up. And I
Awesome.
heard
Awesome. I'm
some
excited for
dude,
that.
yeah, it's been like 100 X's, like it's less Jeets or some fool just DM me. But I remember you're talking about, so October 12th, the Sui Pump Fund factory opens, bro. God damn it.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah. Sui's a really good coin. Like a lot of people aren't familiar with Sui, right? Sui's basically like another Solana. It's a whole different system. I have a complete video going over why I'm
Yeah.
extremely bullish on Sui and why I think Sui will eventually next year or maybe 2026 be the new Solana. So that's a video
Oh shit.
you definitely guys want to go check out, because that video I made, I said, how do you want to become a millionaire next year? This is basically
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do. So, if you haven't
But you
checked
said
out
with
that video,
$100, bro. You said
yeah,
with
with a
$100.
with 100, yeah, I said it with
Exactly.
$100, and I'm not gonna explain it why. Okay, so I explained it in the video, but I'm just gonna give you guys a quick
Yeah,
brief
yeah,
explanation. So Sui right now is a dollar, but I think it's a dollar point 70, right? So that's the price
yeah.
of Sui. So if you put $100 in Sui right now, that gives you a good amount of coins. Okay, all you gotta do is find one mem coin and have that one mem coin double your wallet. Basically, let's say you put in $50, you get $100 out. Now you have 150 Sui, right?
Yeah.
In equal value. Eventually, next year, I expect that coin to be like around $20. So right now, you're buying the coin for like $1.70. If by
It's
next year
crazy.
it's $20, you're already up. But the advantage is like since Sui theoretically will eventually overtake Solana, as we progress throughout the year,
What?
throughout the years, I would say not the year, but throughout the years, that eventually is going to hit $150, right? So when it hits $150, if you have at least 10,000 Sui, all right, you're a millionaire. too much about Sui because a lot of people don't know about Sui that much, but there are some really good mem coins out there. There are a couple. It's going to be interesting how that progresses. But that's a really good thing. AD8, did you want to speak, brother? Because you asked to be a speaker. I don't know if you wanted to say something.
Yeah, hey, first of all, thank you for all the information on your from your YouTube videos and your Telegram. It was very helpful for me. I just have a question. Getting into coins when it's already like past the first phase of the pump. Like for example, Mona, like I missed the initial pump, like to the all-time high, and then I kind of want to get into that after, like when it kind of gets to a nice floor or something like that. So I wanted to ask, like, do you have like a specific strategy? Like, how do you know exactly where? I mean, obviously you can't know where the exact like the bottom is exactly, but you can kind of guess. You can look at uh, lower highs or higher lows and so on and so forth. So is there like for example,
Yes.
if your goal is to invest into this coin, so like would you like to make sure, would you like for example put like 25% of that first, see how it's going, and then put the rest? Like,
Okay, so I have a couple videos that kind of go over this on my YouTube channel. So I have one that teaches you the 468 strategy. Now
mhm,
the way the 468 strategy works is that it's based on percentiles, right? 40, 60, and 80. So these are retracements that coins do every single time they go up, right? Every time you hit a coin hits a all-time high, it will either do a 40, a 60, or 80 retracement. So when you learn that pattern, and it's something I show in the video. A lot of people charge for this information. Okay, so I try to keep everything free for you guys because I don't want you guys to be paying for something that I could give it to you guys for free and help you print, right? So the when you learn those retracements, you will be able to identify and say, you know what, this is the bottom, because from the 80%, the lower it could go is 90, right? If it goes lower than 90, basically the idea. So you want to, you just keep 40, 60, 80. If you remember that and you keep that in the back of your head, you'll be able to know in. But as you're asking for the Mona coin, so for the Mona coin, the all-time high was like about 3 million, if I remember. Let me just double check. Let me pull up the chart real quick here. Yeah, so it's like
I think
about,
so, yeah.
yeah, it's like about 3 mil, like about 2.8, like around 2.8. So the retracement on that, if you look at the retracement of that, you think cut that by half, that's like 150, right? So that would be like your 40. Um Usually, unless you have like a super duper fast bot, and that's why I recommend people using bullets and using like the parameters I use, because that will get you into that 1.5. But usually if you're buying with a bot or you're buying off a chain and you see that 1.5, that's going to get you into like the 1.6, 1.7 range, right? Because it's just based on speed and how fast people are buying, and usually whoever has the fastest bot is going to buy it, at that lower queue. So I literally set that on TG. I was like, this is going to get a retracement. It's going to get a retracement down to like around 1.5. Then it came from 1.5 to 2.5, right? So if you would have put like one soul in, you would have not made the complete soul, because when it happens, when coins are like this high in market cap, you have to wait longer than if you were to get into something that's like at a lower market cap, because it takes bigger investments to make a lot of money when the market cap's so high up. So if you're trying to get into a coin at this high market cap, like for example where Mona's at, I think it's like 1.7 right now. Probably have to wait like maybe 20 to 50 minutes, and it's just taking too long. Because what happens is, in the space we're in right now, especially with being October, everybody calls it October. There is a coin that's running constantly, like almost every hour, right? There's
Yeah.
gonna be a coin that starts like at 50K and goes up to a mil, or like 50K and goes up to like 500K. So there's no point on you sitting on a coin for like over an hour. If you just have one soul, you want to make sure you're multiplying it as you're going. So usually, the way I started, I started with like I actually started with one soul, but then I kind of fumbled the bag and got down to like zero point 0.3 soul, and I turned that zero point 0.3 soul to $2,500, right? And then from there, I just kept progressing. But the way
God
the way I
damn.
was the way I was doing that is I was trading like almost every hour on a coin that was coming out, right? So I was constantly trading, because I was just 2xing. I kept 2xing, 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 and still I
Shit.
until I build a bag. And then once I had the bag, then I could put in money into like stable coins. And I hate using the word stable because
Conviction.
anything, yeah, anything could dump, right? Like any moment anything could dump. Like that's the thing with the game. But for example, you guys see me like I bull post a lot of Trump, right? You guys see me put Trump is at 10 mil, Trump is at
Yeah.
12 mil, because I know eventually that coin will hit a bill. Eventually,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
unless he doesn't become president or something, that's something like that's the worst case scenario, right? Um, but if he becomes president, my target's 1 bill. So usually what I'm doing is like I'm like, okay, I made I'm gonna go put 1 soul into 10 mil, right? All right, I get these 2 soul. I flip those 2 soul to 4 soul. All right, cool. Now I keep my 2 soul. I'm gonna go put another soul into Trump. So basically, what's gonna happen is I'm constantly building my bag on one specific coin. And I have multiple coins that like everything that's on my YouTube. I'm heavily invested in. It's like I'm constantly just looking at the lower dips, putting in the soul that I constantly, I make over time. So eventually my bag starts filling up. So when this moment comes where we're called October, I already have that money allocated into those coins, and I'm just gambling with money that I could gamble with, right? And that's kind of where you want to get. Like if you only have 1 soul, I have a video where I explain how you break that apart. So what you want to do is you don't want to throw in the 1 soul right off the bat, right? Because that's the biggest mistake everybody makes. A lot of people will get that 1 soul. They'll see like, and this I'm a caller too. I call stuff on my TG and an X, but you got to be careful with who you follow because a lot of people use you like as exit liquidity, and they'll make a
Yeah,
call and
bro.
they've been in it. It's they'll make the call when it's 250 and they've been in it since 50K. So you come in here and you buy, right? You buy and you're like, bro, what happened to the chart? It dumped. Well, I mean, you were just pretty much exit liquidity.
Fucking pussies.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you pay attention to you follow because you don't want your soul to go to dust right off the bat. Basically, what you want to do is you want to divide that, and that's another strategy I have on my YouTube channel. That's why I highly recommend you guys check it out if you haven't had a chance. Whenever you guys have free time, where I teach you guys how to divide the soul. Like if you have 1 soul, and how you split that and you invest properly. Never like full blast of 1 soul, right? Never full blast of 1 soul.
Yeah. Hell no.
You want to make sure you take you divide that into 3, and then you have enough money to DCA. Basically, the way I pretty much structure it, like if I have 3 soul, when I buy the first one, I buy 1 soul in, and that's kind of like tippy top, right? Like let's say, for example, let's take a look at Hugs, right? So when Hugs came out at 100K, I put in 1 soul, and then it kept going up, right? It dipped again. I put 2 soul back at 100K. It dipped back to 100K again, and then it went back up, and then I bought another soul. So I'm buying more at the bottom than I'm buying at the top, because what you want is you just want to make sure you're accumulating more tokens, because the more tokens you have, the more money you're going to make whenever it hits a certain target, right? That's probably going to be episode 4 of the not this week, not this coming week, but next week, or the following week, which we're going to be talking about the 1%, and how that's going to be key for you guys to training. So you guys want to make sure you guys are tuning into these. But that is basically, to answer your question, that's how I would do it.
Thank you so much. That was very useful. Yeah, I mean, like for the Hugs, like it was kind of my first trade that I've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so you want to make sure you pay attention to you follow, because you don't want your soul to go to dust right off the bat. Basically, what you want to do is you want to divide that, and that's another strategy I have on my YouTube channel. That's why I highly recommend you guys check it out if you haven't had a chance. Whenever you guys have free time, where I teach you guys how to divide the soul. Like if you have 1 soul, and how you split that and you invest properly. Never like full blast of 1 soul, right? Never full blast of 1 soul. You want to make sure you take you divide that into 3, and then you have enough money to DCA. Basically, the way I pretty much structure it, like if I have 3 soul, when I buy the first one, I buy 1 soul in, and that's kind of like tippy top, right? Like let's say, for example, let's take a look at Hugs, right? So when Hugs came out at 100K, I put in 1 soul, and then it kept going up, right? It dipped again. I put 2 soul back at 100K. It dipped back to 100K again, and then it went back up, and then I bought another soul. So I'm buying more at the bottom than I'm buying at the top, because what you want is you just want to make sure you're accumulating more tokens, because the more tokens you have, the more money you're going to make whenever it hits a certain target, right? That's probably going to be episode 4 of the not this week, not this coming week, but next week, or the following week, which we're going to be talking about the 1%, and how that's going to be key for you guys to training. So you guys want to make sure you guys are tuning into these. But that is basically, to answer your question, that's how I would do it.
thank you so much. That was very useful. Yeah, I mean, like for the Hugs, like it was kind of my first trade that I've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like took my initials out at started to see it dip. I kind of just
Uh-huh.
took everything out. Like I panicked kind of, but
You
I
panic.
made 2x, which is fine.
Oh,
But
you made 2x. Okay.
yeah, but
Let
like
me give you.
I could have made more. I saw when I first saw it dip like after the all time high. I was like, oh, let me just take everything out. And
Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. Like this is something you got to learn. Okay, this is gonna take some time because it took me some time too. Because I panicked. I used to panic sell too, right? Like I'm completely honest. So this is something you want to learn. So let's say you have one soul and you turn that soul to two soul, right?
yeah,
Now you want to keep this in your mind. You want to be like, okay, you know what? This next play, I'm gonna put 1.2, and the point two is only gonna be for dust. Now, when I say dust, it means like you're gonna be like, I could care less if I lose the two. Like if I lose the two, I lost the two. Like I'll be happy with that, but I got my one soul back, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that two could be like the game changer, brother. Like next example I could give you. Think about if you would have got it in Mudang, right? You got in
Fuck,
Mudang
hey
like
man,
right. Let's say you got in Mudang like at
shit.
100K. You put in one soul at 2x, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna leave that 0.2 in there, and I forget about it. Like you would have woken up a couple days ago, and you'd have been like,
Oh my
damn,
god, dude.
that point two is about like 40, 50 soul. And you're like,
Holy
that's
shit.
that's it's very important that you learn to, as you're moving up and collecting soul, you're gonna want to learn to always allocate a percent that you're like not worried about losing. Like you're like, okay,
Mm.
I'm okay with losing that because I'll be able to make it back because the way things run in this space, like you gave a perfect example of Hugs, right? Hugs went up, dipped back to 100K. I bought in, like you exited, right? So
yeah,
like I bought your tokens because I was like, I'm convicted that's gonna go up. So if you would have left your money in there, like right now, I mean that thing almost hit like 800K right now, right? So you'd be up a lot. It's not like gonna be like life changing money, but you would have a lot more so now, right?
yeah, exactly. I just like kind of just wanted to make a 2x and just leave, like because I'm like I said, it was my first trade that I've made really.
And that's perfectly fine, bro. Like, look, nothing wrong with making a 2x. You're good. Like, you could go and sleep at night, right? You're like, bro, I made a part time, right? Like in less than like what, an hour, right? So
Yeah,
it's like,
Shit.
you could go sit
God
down, watch
damn.
some TV, watch a football game, and rest, and be like, okay, I'm good, right? Now you could wake up tomorrow and be like, all right, well, I have two soul now, right? Let's go see what we find. Let's go 2x that. Because that's the beauty about being in this space. And one thing I always like to mention is like we're at a point, and I gave this example on the first episode. We're at a point right now where this is like the gold of what gold used to be. And if you haven't shared the spaces, I would highly recommend you guys share the spaces. That'd be awesome. But we're in a point where this is the gold, and you see the mountain, right? The mountain is crypto, right? The mountain is crypto, and you're like a person running, like walking around, and you're like, there's gold in that mountain. All you need to do is go pick up a shovel, right? Or pick up a shovel or an axe. That's it. Think of like you picking up an axe is like you buying soul. That's basically what you're doing. You're buying soul. So you're buying your axe, right? Which is your soul. And you're gonna go to the trenches. We're gonna go, work for your bag, right?
The
So
gold rush.
that is literally where you're at right now. You're at a point where like you could put in $100, $50, and that could change your life. Now, what's life changing money? That's gonna be everybody's personal opinion. But to me, like 5K, dude, 10K, that's life changing money to me. Like, I mean, you didn't have it before, right?
of course.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah.
yeah, if you could make that, and you're like, dang, I made that, like, you could sit back and be like, reflect and be like, just like, what am I doing with my life, right? I gotta grind more,
You
and that's
gotta
what I like
lock
to teach.
in. You gotta lock
You
in.
gotta lock in, yeah. That's what I like to teach you a
No
lot of things.
distractions. Fuck the World Series. Fuck the postseason. Like
Yep.
sports and all that, bro. You gotta lock in.
One funny thing, like my dad used to tell me, right? He's like, because I'm a big sports person, and then he used to be like, they already made their bread, bro. Like, like they made their bread already. Like, they're making 30 million just by playing, right? Like, and you're sitting there
Yeah,
watching,
yeah,
and
bro.
you don't have 30 million, and you're like, I mean,
Your
maybe
dad
I should
said
watch
that?
it when I have 30 million. Yeah.
Damn, hell yeah,
You're like,
bro. That's a real one. Hell yeah.
yeah, you're like, maybe when I get 30 million, I could go sit and watch the game, right? Like,
Maybe
I'm not
like in
gonna.
a little suite, watch the
Yeah,
game like in a suite though, like you know what I mean? Like that.
yeah. think about it this way, right? Like you're like the advantage we have with crypto, right? You could literally be at a football game making money while you're sitting watching, right? That's what you
Yeah,
want.
that's
Like
true. That's true.
that's what you want. You know, you want to make sure that's constantly happening. So
Yeah.
it's very important that you get this mindset, and that's why one thing I think a lot of KOLs don't really teach, and I wish more people in the space like say it, but don't they don't like I don't want to use the word enforce it, but they don't really drill down on it. There's nothing more important, and you guys can see that I do that a lot on TG. Like I'll post, like when I post stuff on Twitter, working for your bag is one of the most important things you could do in this space.
Yeah.
Because the coin will not go up unless people work for their bags. And what I mean by that is if no one's talking about the coin on CT, which people call crypto Twitter, right? If no one's talking about the coin's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to literally sit
Yeah.
there and die. And that's why it's extremely important that whenever you want to get in, like and we want to start investing, is you want to make sure you guys, if you see someone tweet about it, if you're in a coin, work for your bags, guys. It doesn't take that much to just
You got to
hard
engage
comment.
in the comments. Yeah.
You gotta it doesn't take that much, just comment, reply. It could be like a
But you
little
know what's
emoji.
crazy? People are so concerned with their image that like too much, like it's crazy, bro. Like people that got too much ego, they won't like that shit kills people, bro. You got to be just open because people worry about their brand and their image too much.
Yeah, like I mean, it's really important. Like you got to work for your bag because the coin is not going to go up unless people know about it and hear about it. So it's really important. I like to make sure I let people know what making money is really fun. Making money is really good. It's life changing, but you got to put the effort. You got to put the effort. And
Yeah.
you think about it, you're not flipping burgers, guys. All you're doing is sitting on Twitter, hitting a like, dropping a comment. Right? There's people flipping burgers, like sweating, right, while they're flipping the burger. Like you don't even have to be doing that. You're just sitting at home or in a couch or wherever you're doing, and you're just constantly just in Twitter basically, right? So just keep that in mind. It's a very really good privilege that we have. And one thing I always say is like we are like early. There's like I would like to say like I would say maybe out of all the population that exists right now, I would say like maybe at least 90% of the population don't even know what like Memecoins are.
Yeah,
Okay?
dude.
That's,
Straight
that's
up.
that's how crazy it is. That's how
They
crazy
know
it is.
Pepe. You think they know Pepe? Maybe they know the frog
I'm,
though.
I'm gonna say
Maybe.
I'm gonna say maybe like at least 20 to 30. I think there's a lot of people who are not in crypto. There's like a ton of people who are in crypto. First and
Yeah.
foremost,
Hell
people don't
yeah.
even know how to trade. Like that's like the hardest thing. Like they're like, where do I buy it? What the heck is that? So
Not even that. Just trying to add money to your Phantom wallet, bro. People are lost as hell.
yeah,
Like the first time trying to add money to the Phantom wallet, bro, is crazy.
yeah. That's it's really important. Like if you have people, if you have family members, friends that don't, just shoot them over to the YouTube. I have like videos on all
Yeah.
the, like how to get
Yeah. Yeah.
Phantom, how to do that. So that helps your people's out. If there's anybody sitting on the spaces that wants to talk, just raise your hand or request to speak, and we'll continue talking about the events and how to be able to print on them.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, not a problem, AD. All right, so like I was saying, we had the event, which was the war thing that happened today, and you saw a lot of coins dip, right? So this is where you guys, I don't know if you guys have Deck Screener, but if you don't, Deck Screener has this thing where you can literally go to a coin, and then on the right hand side, there's something called alerts, and you could set that with your phone, and then look at the at the chart and set, like for example, let's say you want to look at a coin, you're like, okay, if this dips like 80%, 50%, I need an alert to be sent to me so I know I have a big opportunity, right? So for example, there are coins that I speak of very frequently on my YouTube channel, on X and stuff like Wolf, Tramp, Michi, Selfie. You want to set alerts for that because usually one of the greatest things that happened is this was like 3 months ago or 2 months ago. There was this big same thing that happened right now, which was the whole war thing. There was this big war thing that was going to be happening, right? And all the coins, dude, like all the coins like at 2 a.m. dipped. Okay, Popcat, Popcat dipped all the way to 250K, no, 250 million. Okay. When I saw that, dude, I was like, I gotta make a video real quick. So I started making the video, right? First I bought, right? I was like, I'm gonna buy because I don't know what's gonna happen, right? So I went ahead and bought, and I made the video. You guys can check out the videos right there. I'm going over, I go over Jinin, Popcat. I think I put Rocky in there. I also put Michi. And this happened at 2 a.m. Okay, 2 a.m. Boom, dip, and then like at 6 a.m. there was this news that there was really nothing happening. If you go and look at the chart, Jinin fell down from 80 mil all the way down to 10 mil. Okay, I bought
What?
in. I bought in when I woke up, which is like roughly like around 10 a.m. That thing was already almost at 80 mil again. That is literally 8x while you
Yeah,
sleeping, and that is just because there was an event that happened, right? And that's what you guys
yeah,
constantly got to keep that in mind. You see something in the news, you see something pop up,
yeah.
that is what you want to do. Another crazy thing that happened is, I was building up a lot on Trump, and Trump got shot, right? If you go back and you look at the time that happened, the Trump coin went from 10 mil all the way down, all the way up to 80 mil. All right. So that didn't even
Damn,
happen over hours. That was literally in 1 hour. Like it just, so
crazy.
it's stuff like that you want to make sure like you're in position to take advantage of that. And if you're not in position, you want to make sure you're constantly looking for that. So when that happens, you're either ready to take advantage of it, right? You have your soul ready. You're not like, oh crap, I gotta transfer some soul from Coinbase. You already have your soul in there. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you another perfect example of why I think one of the coins we're in, actually two of the coins that I think we're in right now, have a potential to, like, if we allocate early, which I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys are allocated early already. You guys should be positioned for a special event. So we're in R-Dog, right? This is literally one of the easiest place where it could go from where it's at right now. I think it's at 5 mil. I haven't even checked it right now, but I believe it's like around 5 mil, somewhere around there, where it could easily go from that to 50 mil in an hour. Because all it would take Elon Musk to retweet that coin, or to retweet that, and that thing goes to 50 mil. So if you're already
Shit.
positioned, right? If you're already positioned for him retweeting, like, I'm not saying he's going to retweet, we don't know. But if that were to happen and you're already positioned for that, then you're gonna be making a lot of multiples, right? Because you got in really early. You got in really early. So you're maybe like 2 to 4x that you have now. That could literally become a 40x, right? Overnight, or in the course of an hour. So those are coins that you want to get early in, as early as you possibly can, and just be patiently waiting and waiting and waiting, because it's gonna happen. I'm gonna give you another example, right? And this is, I think I called this, I believe I called this a week ago. So there was a coin called Geeko, which, as you guys,
Mm-hmm.
you saw me bullet posting it, right? I
Yeah,
told you
yeah.
guys about that coin at 8 million. Okay, this is 8 million. I said, guys, this coin is going to do well. I have a lot of high hope for this one. What happened yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Ansem tweeted about the coin. That thing went all the way to 70 mil. So
Wow.
if you're positioning yourself and these coins at the right time, if you put in 1 soul, you're getting 8 soul back, right? 7 soul back, whatever amount you're putting in, because you're just being positioned on certain coins before they blow up. And usually most of these calls, I'll call them either on my YouTube channel, because I compile like a list and then I'll make a YouTube out of it, or I'll call them on TG, depending on how fast I think it's going to pick up. But that is where I want to make sure you guys are constantly doing, is you want to make sure you have a little bit of money to gamble, because you don't want to be gambling with a lot, but you also want to make sure you have a good amount of money, so when there is a conviction play, this is
Mm-hmm.
where you want to be like, okay, you know what, I have 5 soul here, I know this is going to be 10 soul. It's not that if it's going to happen, it's just when it's going to happen, right? That's what you want. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna put 5 soul there, I'm just gonna wait, I'm gonna wait, and then when it turns 10, when that turns to 10 soul, you just you get your position accordingly. But you also want to have a little bit of money on the side to be able to gamble, because some of these calls, like for example Hugs, right, we called it at 100k and it hit 700. You could have made another, you would have put a soul there out. That is where you want to constantly do. You want to make sure you allocate a little bit, and then you have your conviction plays, and then you're constantly looking for events to happen when we're in. Actually, there's another coin that we're in. So for example, Umuchi, right? Umuchi, this one is the real life Pepe, and the reason I like this coin a lot is because this is an AI generated animal. Now, we haven't had an AI generated animal in the space yet. We haven't had that. It's really never been a thing. So that is a coin that, if you guys got in when I got in, it was like around 100k. Like, you already made a lot of profit because you ran it to 27 mil, but it retraced down. I think it's sitting like at 4, 3, I don't know, 3 mil around there right now. But this is a really good coin. if you would have gotten at that point, you guys already had printed. And then we have the other one that I feel like that's doing really, really well is Dog, which I told you guys to buy like a 2 mil, it ran up to 5 mil. So that's at least I think like 1.5x right there. But this one, the reason we liked it is because this was a front runner, right? Like we hadn't seen an emoji run before. We did know that when Apple had their event with the pigeon, well, but it didn't run. Now this one runs because everybody identifies with a dog and everybody identifies with a cat. So we figured this is going to do pretty well. And this is one that I feel like has a lot of potential because it's very, when I use the word normie friendly, is that everybody could identify with it that will see it, right? Like if you see the little picture of a dog, even if you're not in crypto, you know what it is, right? So that's why we felt like that was going to be a really good one. And the good thing is that this is another coin that you could position your well accordingly because easily Apple could pretty much just put a picture of a dog right on their TG or on their X account, and this will blow up like from where it currently is right now. It'll go even higher. So it's one of those coins that has so much uh, FOMO aspect to it that it could just literally blow up because it's just based on events, right? It's just based on events. So that's what you want to constantly be looking for. And I feel like right now the way we're in this, kind of like fall, we're in fall. There's so many events happening. Those are accordingly. So we got, we have, of course, Halloween. Everybody knows there's gonna be a coin, guys, that's gonna run for Halloween. Like everybody knows that.
Sure,
like you guys know that now. So we just gotta find that coin, right? We just gotta find the coin that's gonna hit a mil. We know Thanksgiving is coming. There's gonna be some sort of turkey coin that's gonna run, and then we know that Christmas is coming. There's gonna be some sort of Christmas coin that's gonna come. And there's going to be a New Year's coin that's going to come. So as we're progressing and moving along, because events play a crucial part for you guys to be successful in this space. And that's what you'll see, like a lot of people that are making, a good amount of money in the space are making it either on conviction plays or on just being able to front run the new meta, right? The new thing that's popping. And the way you're front running this is because it's basically based on events that are currently happening. And that's like, I want to teach you guys, if I'm not on TG, if you guys are sitting on pump.fun, I want to teach you guys. And then a lot of people don't want to teach you this because they don't want you to learn, but I want you to learn. So a lot of people want you as exit liquidity. I want you guys just to be like on top of your game. I want you guys to print. I want you guys to make money because it's extremely important for me. Like if you guys make money, I know you guys are going to bring it back, right? Whether it's by bringing people to the X, to the TG, to the YouTube, it's going to come back, right? And that's going to be beneficial not only for me, but also for you guys. But I think if you guys position yourself and you change your mindset, because I know what tends to happen is some of you guys work, some of you guys go to school, and all that noise kind of unfocuses you, right? So you're like at work, you're like, I can't really be thinking of what's pumping on pump.fun.
You can misplace. You can misplace.
You misplace, right? So
yeah,
it's if you position yourself, you're like, okay, you know what? Halloween's coming. Okay, I already know that. I have that in the back of my mind. I'm gonna be constantly checking, right? I'll be checking pump.fun, see what's happening on the 29th. I'll check if there's anything popping. But that's already in your head. I want to make sure you guys constantly have that in your head because you could lose sidetrack, right? And one hour that you sidetrack could be a Modang, right? So you don't want to you don't want to be like, man, I wish I'd have bought Modang. You don't want to be that person, right? You're gonna be like, I bought Modang, I either made an X or I held, right? And that's the thing. We're gonna be talking about holding, like that's gonna be for another episode. But I think in particular, if I could show you guys and I could teach you this, it's gonna make you guys be able to get to that 100 soul challenge that you guys or commitment that you guys are trying to get to. I don't know where everybody's in as within their soul count, but I know from the last episode we had, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are not at one soul anymore. Like I'm pretty sure some of you guys, at least in 10 or 5, 20, whatever. I don't know how much soul you guys had, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are like over one soul now. So that I'm really happy for that.
That moon deck traumatized a lot of people, bro. That moon deck. No, so now, the FOMO is so real right now because everybody's still thinking about that shit killed a lot of people's mental, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of you guys send me DMs on pictures of how much soul you guys have made. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are over the one. So I'm really happy for you guys, and I'm excited that you guys are making money as we're moving through the through trading, which is actually pretty fun and pretty engaging. But we have a lot of things, guys. We're gonna be going over through these episodes. And one thing I always like to say is like, if you guys have any questions as the week is going by and it's progressing, just write them down, or DM or message me. I did get some questions for today, but I kind of wanted to, drill down on this event portion very well, because an event happened today, and we were able to take advantage of the event. We were able to front run a couple things, which is always a good sign. And I felt like it was a really good teaching moment, because it's something I can literally pinpoint to like right now and be like, this is happening right now. So I thought that was a really good way to address this one. But know what coins could trigger an event? It's super duper important, super bullish on you being able to do that. Like Hugs is a perfect example, right? Hugs, someone would have made that coin like yesterday, this thing would be like at a 10K, right? The reason it blew up is because Photon, right? Phantom Wallet literally tweeted the picture, right? So boom, blew up. And then Bunk and be like, this is gonna do pretty well. And it did pretty well. I mean, it ran up almost all to where did it hit? What's this at right now? So it hit almost 750K right now. It trickled down to 4K right now. So it's having a nice little retracement. I still think personally, depending on how crypto Twitter's treating it right now, I haven't checked, but I would have to go check. It could hit a mil. Like I feel like it could hit a mil. It just depends on this bounce back where it's at right now. If it bounces back from this 400 to break an all-time high, but it could hit a mil. It's just a very memeable coin. Now, apart from Mona's like 1.5 right now. It's kind of like it's just sitting there. It's a nice little pocket. The reason this coin hasn't blown up to like where it should be, like this coin should at least be like at 8 to 7 mil, is because a lot of the people that were in the coin, like the top holders, held a lot of the coins. So a lot of people were kind of sketchy to buy it. And that is the reason that coin didn't run up as it was running up, as it was going up on the 3 mil. A lot of people exited because there was a lot of people that had a lot of allocation. Now, one thing I want to know, if you guys are like wondering, how do you know they had a lot of allocation? Guys, listen, I personally use Bullix to trade. That's the best thing you could possibly use currently right now in the space. If you're not using Bullix, I'm going to post a link on TG, so you guys should just definitely go ahead and get into Bullix. The reason why I'm very adamant about Bullix is because I like it when I trade and it's fast, but most importantly, I like to save money, and that is the cheapest gas fee bot right now. So not only are you trading fast, but you're saving money, which is great, because you want to make sure you're constantly trading and saving money as you're trading. Because for those of you who don't know that or might be new to crypto, every time you do a trade, you get taxed. So the lesson really important to keep an eye on. So if you're not using Bullix, head on over to the TG. I'll post a link after the spaces so you guys can get in here and make sure you guys take advantage of that. But back to wrapping it up for today. World events are important. Getting on these coins early is important, and being able to identify what coin could trigger an event is extremely important. The coins I shared with you guys. We've been trading. I didn't talk too much about Manu, but as you guys know, I called Manu at 150K. It's at
Manu.
Yeah, Manu. Yeah, I called it at 150K. Bro, it's at 22 mil. Okay, so like, just think about that, right? Like
big.
That's big plays, guys. Big plays. So, and that was
World 3 is trending. World 3 is trending for a minute, bro.
Right. Yeah. So right now we know the war is a very big thing right now. We're gonna constantly be checking what ticker does really well, because what you got to be careful too, guys, because what tends to happen when events happen, you get a bunch of coins is coming out.
Yeah.
Thing, right.
Yep.
And the majority of them are ruggers, right? So you got to keep an eye
all
out.
Of them, bro. All of them.
You gotta pay attention. You can't just be fumbling and stuff, because that's the hardest way to ease in the space. Is a lot. Making 100 souls is not hard. Okay, it's kind of like one of the most easiest things you do, because you know what happens is as you're working to that 100 soul, you yourself are very precautious, right? You're like, I can't fumble the bag. So I'm gonna take that 2x. I can't fumble it, right? Once you get to that 100. For some reason, you're like, bro, I already have 100. I'm gonna throw 50 on this one. Bro. This is the one. Yeah. You throw that 50, and that 50 turns into the easy part. Turning 100 to 1,000. That's gonna be we're as we go through these episodes, but that is where I want to position you guys. I want to make sure that we get to the point where, like, you know, you guys are like, oh yeah, man, I was in episode 2, bro. They're like, now we're in episode 23. I already have my 100. So how do I make it into 1,000? Right? That's what I want to get to. So right now we're slowly building. I know a lot of people are new to crypto. A lot of people don't understand how, you know, meme coins work. You know, even though they might not be new to crypto, they're new to meme coins, and meme coins are a completely different ballpark.
Yeah.
And trading Solana, you know, Sui, or trading, you know,
The
Tron and
V
all that.
chain, dude.
Yeah.
I try to onboard my homie that has V chain, all those utility coins. He's lost in the sauce. It's whole
Yeah.
different from the H bar and all that crazy shit.
Yeah, the
Cardano, all that.
XRP, like a lot of people are still in those coins because
Fuck.
they don't look like. I like to explain it this way. Listen, right now in the meme coins, I'm gonna give it to you guys like this, and this is gonna stick in your brains, and you guys are gonna be able to be like, okay, we're early, right? Right now in the meme coin space, except for the mother coin, the mother coin's the only one that's kind of doing it right, except for that one, right? Out of all the meme coins, none of them are doing it right. And when I say doing it right, means that no one has been able to transition these coins into a brand. Okay, there hasn't been a brand. What's gonna happen? And you're gonna mark my words. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna be this year, next year, or the following. You're gonna see Nike come out with a meme coin.
Oh no.
Okay, you're gonna see Nike come up with a meme coin, and you're gonna be like, oh crap. Well, if Nike came out with a meme coin, then Adidas comes up with one, then Gatorade comes with one, and then that is when we're gonna see everybody FOMOing into the meme coins. Right now, we're not there yet. We're at the stage where there's no brand coin. There is no coin that's a brand. So you are extremely
It's coming soon.
early,
it's coming soon, man. Very
soon. Yeah, it's coming
very
soon.
soon.
You know? Right now, you saw like a bunch of celebs, right, try to get onboarded, right?
Yeah.
Not that many did well because they were just throwing darts. But once these
Andrew Tate is still sticking, right? Andrew Tate's still sticking.
Yeah. Those are the only two. Mother and Tate are the only two that are.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So once these celebrities crypto and they start making brands out of these coins, kind of like you see what like Iggy's doing. She made her coin. Now her coin's like going to be used for a casino that she's making, right? So basically, this mother concept is going to become a brand, right? Everybody's going to be saying, "Oh, do you own any mother?" Because she also has a cell phone she's launching, which you're going to use the coin for her cell phone. So once they start becoming brands, it was in early because a lot of people didn't even know this existed, you know. So it's going to be one of those things that we're slowly, really, really early. So I want you guys to get excited because you might not have a lot of money right now, which you probably have 1,000, 5,000, whatever. I don't know what you have, but you're so early right now that we're going to be talking to, like, I'm going to be having these spaces with a bunch of millionaires. Like, I'm going to be like, bro, what yacht are we getting to? What jet are we going to? You know, it's going to be one of those things. You know, I'm going to be happy for you guys. I'm going to be excited because, you know, we did this, you know, stay focused. You know, make sure you guys are paying to events. Make sure you're following on TG. Make sure you're following on X, following on YouTube, and onboarding your friends and families is going to be extremely important because you do not want to be that guy, bro. Like, you know, when people tell you, be like, yo, why didn't you tell me? Like, bro, why didn't you tell me? Right?
Hey, but the people that live paycheck to paycheck, they can't afford those like risky moves. The paycheck.
Listen, I ran up 0.5 SOL. Okay, 0.5 SOL at that time. I ran it up to 2,500, bro. Like, if I could do it, like, you guys could do it too. You know what I mean? Like, and I literally show you guys, like, if you get into, I'm not gonna say like all my play hits because I'm human, right? Like, but I have like almost like a 95 hit rate, right? So think about it. If you just get into one of the plays and you 2x and you turn that 0.5 to 1, you're already winning, right? And then you turn that 1 into 2, you're winning. So you got to keep that in mind. 88, what's up, brother? You raised your hand.
Yeah, I just have a quick question, like, just to get like your opinion since you have experience in these things. So like you were saying, like how like we should pay attention to like events that are happening, like for example the war today, Halloween, whatever, like the elections. Like like for example today there's a coin that came out, it's called Spook. Like it got up to like for the Halloween season, stuff like that. It reached 100K market cap. So is that something like you would look for right now?
No, because no one's focused on Halloween right now, right? Like no one's like focused. Like everybody's minds right now is on 3 things: the war, okay, the war.
Yeah.
Number 2, Modang, all right, and number 3 is emojis. Like that is where everybody's heads like right now in crypto. So really caring about Halloween. Like for Halloween, like a really good coin's gonna come out that's probably backed by a lot of really good, like, you know, cabal, people like to call it, that's gonna probably hit like 20 mil, 30 mil, and you're probably gonna get like an entry like around 5 mil, around there. And there's gonna be a pump fund coin that's gonna literally come out and it's gonna hit like 3 mil, 4 mil, right? So that's not gonna happen right now. That's not gonna happen right now. That's gonna